football's evolution from its humble beginnings to the global phenomenon it is today is a fascinating story. Interestingly, many believe that football was actually invented in China around 2,000 years ago. Chinese villagers bored one day crafted a ball out of leather, feathers and hair, creating what is thought to be the earliest form of a football. Back then, the game was straightforward. Players simply kicked a ball between bamboo cones in the streets, and it was called cuju. This ancient game persisted through medieval times in Europe, but it wasn't until 1863 that modern football truly took shape. On October 26th of that year, the English Football Association was established, and the first official rule book was drafted. They banned players from carrying the ball with their hands, outlawed violent conduct, and even introduced a version of the offside rule, setting the foundation for the sport we recognize today. As the British Empire expanded, so did the popularity of football, spreading across continents and cultures. By 1904, FIFA was founded, marking the beginning of organized international competition. During this period, many of the clubs we still know today were formed, and leagues began to develop, fostering rivalries and raising the sport's profile. The 1930 World Cup was a pivotal moment, transforming football into a truly global sport. However, the game's progress was interrupted by the chaos of World War II in 1939, which led to the suspension of competitions, military drafts of players, and a significant decline in football's prominence. It was during this turbulent era that a Brazilian prodigy named Pelé made his debut for Santos at just 15. By 17, he had played in his first World Cup, scoring twice in the final and becoming the youngest World Cup winner in history, a record he still holds. Pelé's charisma and skills made him a global superstar, and he helped cement football's place in popular culture, winning 2 more World Cups with Brazil and scoring countless goals, many in friendlies, but none less impressive for it. Meanwhile, across Europe, football was evolving with the creation of the European Cup in the 1950s. Real Madrid dominated early on, winning the first few editions with legendary players like Alfredo Di Stefano, Francisco Puskas, and Raymond Kopa, forming what many consider the first super team. Their success set a precedent, and over time, European football became legendary for producing transcendent stars like Bobby Charlton and Eusebio. The 1960s brought new flair and talent to the sport. In 1966, England won its first, and so far only, World Cup, with no red cards issued during the tournament. That same era saw the debut of 2 iconic players at Manchester United, George Best and Johan Cruyff. Best was a charismatic, flamboyant winger whose talent was matched only by his turbulent lifestyle, embodying the rockstar footballer of the late 60s and 70s. Cruyff, on the other hand, was instrumental in pioneering total football, a style emphasizing fluid positions, one-touch passing, and high pressing, revolutionizing European football and making the game more attractive for fans. The 1980s marked a renaissance for football, with televised matches increasing the sport's global reach. Italy's Serie A flourished with clubs like AC Milan, Inter Milan, and Juventus, and the arrival of Diego Maradona at Napoli in 1984 ignited a golden era for Italian football. Maradona's magic on the pitch, including the infamous Hand of God goal against England in 1986, made him a legendary figure. He led Argentina to victory in that World Cup, cementing his status as one of the greatest ever. However, his career was marred by controversies and struggles with substance abuse, leading to bans and a decline in his playing days. The 1990s saw massive changes. The offside rule was adjusted to what we see today, and Sir Alex Ferguson's arrival at Manchester United sparked a 26-year dynasty. Meanwhile, Johan Cruyff's influence spread as he managed Barcelona, implementing total football and laying the groundwork for future success. The decade also saw the rise of some of the greatest players. Zinedine Zidane, who transferred to Juventus in 1996 and became the world's top playmaker. Ronaldo Nazario, the Brazilian striker whose scoring record was extraordinary by age 20, and others who would define the era. The Champions League rebranded from the European Cup, and the English Premier League was born, transforming English football into a commercial powerhouse. Manchester United achieved their first treble, while Real Madrid and Barcelona battled fiercely for dominance in Spain. AC Milan, with legendary defenders like Paolo Maldini, continued their success across Europe. The turn of the millennium brought a new wave of superstars. Zidane moved to Real Madrid in 2001, where he helped the club secure multiple Champions League titles. Ronaldo, after stints at Inter Milan and later Real Madrid, became a global icon, with transfers breaking records and redefining what a footballer could achieve. In 2004, Jose Mourinho led FC Porto to an unlikely Champions League victory, and shortly after he took over Chelsea, ushering in a new era of oil money, investment in football. Meanwhile, young talents like Cristiano Ronaldo arrived in Manchester United in 2003, initially raw but with immense potential. Over the years, he transformed into a goal-scoring machine, winning multiple Premier League titles, a Champions League and Ballon d'Or awards. In Spain, Lionel Messi's rise at Barcelona was meteoric, especially after Pep Guardiola became manager in 2008. Messi's talent exploded, leading Barcelona to numerous titles, including multiple Champions League victories, and earning him a record 4 consecutive Ballon d'Or awards. His rivalry with Ronaldo became the defining feature of football's golden era in the 2010s, with both players pushing each other to new heights. The rivalry culminated in debates over who the greatest player of all time was, with Messi's record-breaking achievements and style often tipping the scales. Barcelona's MSN, attacking trio, Messi, Suarez, and Neymar, scored an astonishing number of goals, dominating European football for several seasons. Meanwhile, Ronaldo moved from Real Madrid to Juventus, then to Manchester United again, and later to other clubs, collecting more Ballon d'Or awards along the way, maintaining his status as a global icon. In the late 2010s and early 2020s, Real Madrid's Zinedine Zidane returned as manager and led the team to 3 consecutive Champions League titles, further cementing his legendary legacy. Messi continued to rack up awards, but in 2022, Argentina finally triumphed in a World Cup, with Messi leading them to victory and solidifying his claim as one of the all-time greats. The football landscape shifted further with the advent of video assistant referee (VR) technology, which, despite some controversy, became part of the game's fabric. The sport's commercial power surged, with leagues like the Premier League expanding globally. Football's global stage now includes emerging superstars like Kylian Mbappé, Erling Haaland, Jude Bellingham, and Vinicius Junior, who represent the new generation of talent. Meanwhile, legends like Messi have moved to leagues in the United States and Saudi Arabia, where massive financial investments have attracted aging stars, signaling a new chapter for the sport. In this evolving landscape, football continues to captivate fans worldwide, blending rich history, legendary players, fierce rivalries, and the promise of new stars ready to take the game into the future. With such a long and storied past, the sport's future looks just as exciting and as safe in capable hands as ever.
Thank you.